What's up, you guys? Joe Dobby here, back at it again with another video for y'all today. And I don't normally make videos like this where I am making deck profiles and showing off like decks that I'm gonna be playing for future sets. I really enjoy having the physical cards with me when I do deck profiles, but here we are. I'm pretty sure BT5 fatigue has set in, and you know, with all the delays, I'm pretty sure we're all just ready for BT6. So with that said, here are my top 3 decks that I am excited to personally play in purple for BT6 in the Digimon TCG. Alright y'all, so kicking it with deck number 1. This is one of the first decks I decided to build because I finally got my Lilithmon. So in BT5, I had no Lilith loop play, which is kind of silly for a purple player, right? But it's okay. I managed to run Dandevimon Chaos Scoutmon and get my store championship. Ha. Okay, so we're gonna dive into this deck. I did take some inspiration from other creators and players like ed_TCG, so Ed. However, this was mainly kind of like my own homebrew based on, you know, the card pool and what I know about purple synergy. There is the argument of which white tamer to use, and I have reasonings for my own, but anyways, we will start right now. So kicking off with the first card, Dandevimon. On deletion, draw 1, trash 1. We've seen that card many a time if you are a purple player. New egg, new addition here, Sunomon. When you trash a card in your hand using one of your effects, you can trigger draw 1. So you get to cycle through your deck a lot quicker, and which is why I'm running Sunomon a bit more. There's a lot more selective trashing in this deck. 4 copies of Candlemon, which is a really good 2 cost. You know, sets the pace. You know, you can drop the 2-drop on the board and then digivolve into a level 4 while you have another Digimon in raising. So allows you to get, you know, Digivolution options from rookies. 2 copies of Gazimon there. Have to control the memory somehow. There's going to be a lot of manipulation with memory, especially with the delay cards, which is why I am debating whether to make Gazimon a 3 and Impmon a 2, and I probably will do that. 4 copies of Labramon, on play, trigger, draw 1, trash 1. Very good early game. I don't mind actually setting my opponent to 3 first turn if that means I can discard a card and put it in the drop while drawing another. So I don't mind that. Have to run the 4 Labra in my opinion. 2 copies of the Impmon, nice little tech rookie, and the reason why I play the Impmon is because I'm only running 3 Lilithmon. So I might be put into situations where I'm forced to trash Lilith, and Impmon doesn't seem so bad in that regard. In addition to that, I also run the delay option, but we'll dive into things a little bit further as we go. 3 copies of Ginkakumon, part of the whole Ginkaku promote combo. Very good inheritable effect. I love it because I hate Rookie Rush. You may trash 1 card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So it won't surefire like stop decks like Rookie Rush, but it will at least somewhat limit their extensions, and it's a really good combo overall. 3 copies of Ginkakumon here. Once per turn, when you trash a card in your hand using one of your effects, gain the memory. So memory manipulation is awesome. Being able to make your opponent struggle with resources like memory is very important. Ginkakumon Promote has Rush, which I absolutely love. You guys know me with my Cerberusmon Werewolf deck. You already know I love the effect of Rush in purple. On play, you can place 1 Ginkakumon and 1 Ginkakumon from trash under the Promote as Digivolution sources. And then if you do, you can draw 1 and gain the memory. So very good effect. Allows you to take full advantage of the you know, the inheritable effects there. Chimeramon, just the 1 copy. Running Omnimon Zwart, obviously it's a Tynamon loop, so because of that, the Chimeramon doesn't hurt. Gives you options to kind of remove things from your opponent's board. Excuse me. And yeah, very good 1 of. It's an instant discard in my opinion, but it pays off when you get into Zwart. 4 copies of Lady Devimon. When digivolving, trigger draw 2, trash 2. So obviously very good card for cycling through and getting your pieces going. Inheritable effect: when you use an option card, gain delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So just more rookie hate, which is awesome and very welcome in my opinion. Black War Growlmon, Digiburst 3, you can play a level 3 Digimon, so nice, a little bit of an extension there. Sometimes you don't have a Mega, you have nothing to Digivolve into, you have a level 4 in your hand. Digiburst 3 to Digivolve that rookie into a 4, and then you have that extra draw now, right? So very good way to extend your plays. In addition to that, when attacking, you can actually delete one of your other Digimon, like that rookie you brought out, and unsuspend the Digimon. So very good inheritable effect. Finally, the Megas, the bread and butter. 3 copies of Lilithmon. When digivolving, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may return up to 2 purple option cards from your trash to your hand. Very good effect. And when you use an option card, gain 2 memory. So this is the center of the loop, that's why it's called Lilith loop. It allows you to manipulate cards like Jackraid, as we see here, in order to gain as much memory as possible and extend your plays as much as possible. I'm only running 3 Lilith loop, and the reasoning is, once again, I have the Glaive memory boost to bring back Digimon from trash and add it to my hand. And I also run the Impmon, so in case I have to, sometimes, you know, you open with a bunch of Megas and you're gonna have to discard one of those Megas. I don't mind not seeing Lilith or Tida for a time, because I can get them back through either Impmon or Glaive memory boost, which is always very welcome. 3 copies of Tidamon. This changes the game for Lilith loop in my opinion. I didn't miss Lilithmon at all in BT5, and because I just didn't feel that Lilith loop had the ability to win before you decked out. Obviously, I've been proven wrong time and time again. People have topped with Lilith loop, they've been doing amazing with it, but now we have the promote, the rush piece, the extra removal that we need to really swing and just win the game. And with Tidamon, trash 1 card in your hand, then you may play a purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. So you can play promote from trash, and then that will have rush, and then it can immediately swing. And then if promote dies, you can Mega Fusion, go into Zwart, and then bring 2 promotes out, and then swing twice after that. Total of 3 swings, right? And if the Tidamon is at 14k with Sec +1, you might as well swing with the Tidamon before Fusion going into the Zwart, because then you'll have the initial promote swinging, the Tidamon swinging for Sec +1, and then the 2 more promote if you have them in trash. You don't even need Lilithmon at this point to kind of just wipe out security. You just need a Jackraid maybe, and the Glaive memory boost just to make sure it's still your turn when you digivolve into Tidamon. Love this card, actually. Love this card. 3 copies of Omnimon Zwart here. When digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then you may play up to 2 black or purple Digimon cards with a play cost of 8 or less from trash. Very good effect. Obviously, it facilitates the entire loop, making your board insanely wide. Just remember to tuck Omnimon Zwart at the bottom of your deck if you have 2 copies of Mega Digimon Fusion, and if you've used them to go into the Omnimon Zwart. And it also has a very good removal effect when attacking. Sometimes you won't need that, so you do have the option to either swing with Zwart or swing with the Tidamon, which is underneath it, in order to just either go for their security stack or, you know, fully run through Zwart's effects. In my opinion, it's always safer to go into Zwart and then get the swing. You might not get the Sec +1, but you will get the removal, and you will survive most things in security apart from actual removal cards. But, you know, there's a ton of options now that remove things, so I would probably be swinging with Tidamon just to get things out of security. 3 copies of Jackraid here, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. You gain 2 memory as well from Lilithmon's effect once per turn when you play an option. So technically, with the first 10 cards in your trash and a Lilithmon, you gain 3 memory. It's a Hammer Spark in security. Very good card. This is the main play extender. 2 copies of Grave Memory Boost. Very powerful card. Return 1 purple Digimon card from trash when you play it, so you can pretty much get back your Megas if you had to mill them early, and then you can place this card into the battle area. So There's a delay effect that actually allows you to gain 2 memory, and that's where you can decisively go into your Lilithmon or your Titamon to obviously win the game. So very good cards, only 3 costs, never hurts. 2 copies of Mega Fusion, you guys know what this does already, pretty much reduces the cost of a Digivolution into a level 7 by 6. Only problem is you have to tuck that Digimon at the end of your turn to the bottom of your deck. And here is the interesting tech. I'm running 3 copies of Takumi because there's going to be a lot of early swings with the Gabumon Bond, Agumon Bond. I think Jesmon also runs some rookies that'll be swinging because you're trying to widen up the board. There's going to be a lot of different low-level swings, and if there's a lot of level 3 swings, at least Takumi will slow down that process. In addition to that, every time I Digivolve, I get to tap Takumi and draw, which is very important in Lilith Loop, and it's only a 2 cost to play as a tamer. So the reason why I'm playing Takumi and not Manoa is because Manoa only resets you to 3, does absolutely nothing else for the deck. Takumi is a 2 cost, so if you can somehow drop Takumi and then play Mega Digimon Fusion on one of your level 6s, you don't end your turn if you play Mega Fusion and drop Takumi, because Lilithmon can net 0 off using both of those cards, depending on the sequence, and you can pretty much run the whole combo just off 2-3 memory if you have a Mega on the board already. And I think that's super, super important. It's clutched me a lot of games against Eggman, for example, that Manoa just wouldn't be able to do. I would not be able to hard play a 4 cost more often than not when I need it. And Takumi, I can pretty much pull the trigger anytime and then still play Mega Fusion and advance my board state. But that is the first deck, guys. Super excited. I've already tested this out, and I think it's very, very good. I still have to test out the Manoa version. I don't know what people have to say. Let me know in the comments if you think the Manoa version is any good. But I'm going to stick with the Takumis for now because I do love them. Next, we are running my Beelstarmon and or I think it's the Dash Pack Black Metal Garurumon. The one that allows you to Digiburst too, and then actually play an option card of 7 costs or less as long as it's purple. So you're going to see a lot of the same things here, but a little bit of different things as well. So first things first, we're going to run 1 copy of the Demi-Meramon. You already know, on deletion, draw 1. And then trash 1. 4 copies of Sunomon, very familiar with this card already. 4 copies of Demi-Devimon, another 2-drop, so it's pretty much a Candlemon, just in a Demi-Devimon form. So 3 copies of Gazimon, and I think I'm going to drop a Soundbird and then run 3 copies of Gazimon, just because this card is going to be very important. It's going to be slowing down a lot of your opponent's abilities. Like, for example, a lot of the delay cards will not work because those are options and not tamers, so Gazimon will shut that down immediately. I think that's very, very important. 3 copies of Soundbirdmon here. When attacking, you may trash an option card in your hand to gain 1 memory. I do like Soundbirdmon in this deck because it allows you to extend your plays a little bit. We do have some form of returning options in this deck, but there's a lot more out there that you can use. For example, Raremon, you can siphon, you can grab your options from looking at the top 3 cards of your deck. There's also Matt Ishida that allows you to get options, but Soundbirdmon's kind of there just for the play extend. Normally, I generally just Digivolve over it though. 3 copies of Labramon, trigger draw 1, trash 1. Once again, extend that drop to really get Beelstarmon going. Soundbirdmon also sets up Beelstarmon very well, by the way. 2 copies of Meramon here. 1 cost to Evo, very straightforward. That's mainly the reason why I play him. 4 copies of Wizardmon. This is a very cool card. So this promo card I really need. Just because the art's super cool, but its effect's really nice too. When you use an option card, you actually gain a memory. So lots of combo pieces here with this Wizardmon, and as long as you're digibursting and sequencing things correctly, you're gonna be able to take full advantage of this gain 1 memory. 4 copies of the blocker Devimon, because once again, it's just 1 cost to Evo. And it's a blocker. Next, we're running 4 copies of Lady Devimon, trigger draw 2, trash 2. You already know what it is. 3 copies of Vajramon here, 8k, 2 cost to Evo. Once again, we're really just looking for cheap Evos here. Get up to that stack and then play some options and go crazy. Vajramon's nice because while it is a 7 cost to play, it is at least 8k DP. I do believe there are better options now with BT6, but I mean, for now, I decided to put Vajramon. 3 copies of Beelstarmon. Really cool card. When playing this card from your hand, reduce its play cost by 1 for each 3 Musketeers Digimon card and option card with a memory cost of 7 in your trash. Ho ho ho, now you see why I've comboed it with Metal Garuru. On play, return 1 option card with a memory cost of 7 from your trash to your hand. Then, use 1 option card with a memory cost of 7 without paying its cost. So you do get the Digimon out there, and you get to play a card that can either bring more Digimon out or remove one of your opponent's Digimon. So to me, it never feels bad that I give my opponent a little bit more memory than they should be getting, because I am getting that value out of it with Beelstar. 4 copies of Metal Garurumon. Digiburst 2, you can use a purple option with a play cost of 7 or less. Very powerful card. This card, along with the Cerberusmon package, put me to top 6 in the Bandai tournament in BT4, and I'm excited to see how well this does in this set. 2 copies of Millenniummon. This is kind of like just my get out card when my opponent has something that I absolutely cannot stop. At least I can send it to the bottom of the deck and give them problems that way. But I'm more often than not generally not really using Millenniummon unless I've already maxed out on using Metal Garurumon. It's a good transition to go into Beelstar, hard play it, and if the Beelstar survives, go into Millenniummon as well, so that's a good option. So next I'm running 2 copies of Trump Sword. Just because it's a 7 cost option, it adds to the making Beelstarmon a lot cheaper, and it's a very good removal spell. Still very good in my opinion, especially when you can play it for free with Metalgar. 2 copies of Grave Memory Boost. The reason why I'm playing this card is sometimes, you know, I do want those options back, or I do need a Digimon to add to my hand. So the delay, oh sorry, it's a Digimon card. I keep forgetting that. You can't get your options back with this card. That's why I play the Matashitas. But you do gain the 2 memory, which sometimes without the mats, that's all you need to get up into Metalgar. 3 copies of Fly Bullet, because there's a higher chance that I'll be destroying a level 6 or lower Digimon than destroying an unsuspended Digimon with Trump Sword. So I do enjoy Fly Bullet very much, and it just contributes more to making Beelstarmon that much cheaper to play. And 2 copies of Nailbone. I'm debating whether I want to play 1 copy of Nailbone and add another Trump Sword or Fly Bullet, or if I just want to stick with the 2 Nailbone. That's going to be debatable and decided through testing, but this allows me to go wide at least. So there will be situations, I think, like when it's crunch time, where I just need to go wide and I win the game, right? Because if my opponent has removal next turn and I lose my only stack, I just lose, right? So there are times where I think Nailbone will be super important, and that's why for now I'm running 2 copies. And then lastly, 2 copies of Matt Ishida. Love this card. I've been playing this card since pretty much I started playing Digimon, because I main purple, and Matt and Gabumon are my favorite tamer partner duo. But yeah, you can return a purple Digimon card, so it doesn't matter if you return an option or Digimon from trash to your hand. So sometimes if I need the Glaive Memory Boost or something like that, just to extend my plays, I can definitely do so. That is the Metal Garurumon and Beelstarmon deck. Let me know what you would change in the rookies, and let me know what you would change in the ultimates, because I feel like there is room for improvement here, especially if you guys have already gotten your cards. My European players, let me know what your builds are, because I'm curious. Last but not least, we are going into my very cool deck. This is going to be a fun deck until it's not, until it's absolutely insane and people are going to want to play it. It is my Mermucusmon and Dandevimon deck. So as you guys know, I am a Dandevi main player. I managed to take down store championships, excuse me, and top events with it, but we'll dive right into it. So 4 copies of Demimeramon here on deletion, draw 1 and trash 1. You already know what it is. Structure deck Pagumon just to build the Devimon name in the drop. On deletion, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Very good for early swings, and also very good for swinging with retaliation pieces. Devimon 4 copy 2 drop. You already know what it is. 3k DP, and early swings. Early swings with this Digimon go a long way. 2 copies of Gazimon here to control the memory once again. 4 copies of the promo Devimon. On deletion, if you have 7 or more cards with Devimon in their names, you can play 1 Dandevi from trash without paying its cost. So this is the main catalyst to getting Dandevi out for free. Very cool card, very cute Digimon, and I like the Digimon line. It reminds me of Venom from Spider-Man, and I was really into Venom and all that. And yeah, so pretty cool. 3 copies of this Gabumon when attacking, trigger, draw 1, trash 1. This is mainly for the extra extension. So for this has actually clutched me a couple times where I just need 1 Ornismon in trash and the Mermucusmon can do its magic. Sometimes you can risk swinging Mermucusmon into your opponent's bigger Digimon because you were going to do it anyway and because you needed to remove that Digimon from the board. And then you trigger Gabumon's effect first, so you draw 1 and trash 1. If you draw into that Ornismon, you are golden, because once you trade, Ornismon is going to come out and delete one of your opponent's level 5 Digimon. Amazing. You're deleting 2 things for that price, and I think that's amazing. Next, 4 copies of Devimon here. It's got Retaliation for both active and inheritable effects. 2 copies of this promo Devimon. I do like this card, and I think this card will come in clutch for me. It just says on play, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Super straightforward. Honestly, this could easily be substituted for Ogremon. So let me just grab Ogremon for you guys. There. So literally can be substituted for Ogremon quite easily. Because it also builds your drop, and you get to delete level 4 lower Digimon, so much higher. So I would actually play Ogremon. Debatably, I would play Ogremon. You are limiting or reducing your Devimon names by quite a bit, but I don't think that's much of a big deal in the long run, because you know you are building up that trash anyway. 4 copies of Devimon Blocker, 1 cost to Evo. It's a blocker, so say no more. I'm generally not using the blocker effect here because I do want to see Devimon in trash, or sometimes I will be, just so I can block and then bring out Dandevi. It all depends. 4 copies of Lady Devimon here when Digivolving, trigger, draw 2, and then trash 2. Once again, the inheritable effect is very good. Deletes level 3 Digimon. Not a lower. Level 3 Digimon when you play an option. 1 copy of Neo Devimon. Opponent's turn. When an opponent plays a tamer, gain 3 memory, and then when they suspend a tamer, gain 1 memory. So this is kind of like my counter to... It's my tech choice for a lot of tamer-reliant decks, like the Agumon, Gabumon Bonds. I think Jesmon also runs tamers, and if I'm not mistaken, Minoa 1000%, Eosmon 1000% runs tamers. So if I can see Neo Devimon early, I'm literally just leaving it there and then using other stacks. You know, you can always go to another stack, guys. Don't always digivolve over things. Sometimes thinky thinks go a long way in long term of the game. Rebellion is arguably one of my most favorite Digimon to come out for purple in BT6. When digivolving, trash 1 card in your hand. Have this Digimon gain blocker and retaliation. And when it says this Digimon, it refers to the entire Digimon stack. And so you can digivolve over it, and it will retain the blocker retaliation effects. And it's also black during all turns. We're not using that effect so much, but more so the blocker retaliation. Because you can have this Digimon have blocker and retaliation and have the promo Devimon underneath. And then if something bigger is swinging, just block. You know, sometimes your opponent will forget that. Sometimes your opponent will be like, I'll just swing with 16k. And then you're just like, block. And they're just like, wait, what? Oh, it has retaliation and blocker. Oh, I didn't see that, sorry. And it's like, yeah, no takebacks, competitive. Obviously, casual scene, it's fine. But in competitive, it's like, nah. But anyways, very good card. 3 copies of Dandevimon, you already know, it's the main focus of the deck besides the Mermucusmon. Opponent's turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, trash the top card of theirs. Love it. Also, on deletion, your opponent trashes 2 cards in their hand. So it punishes them for removing Dandevi, and they're punished every time Dandevi stays. So very cool. Next, we are running 3 copies of Mermucusmon. It's got retaliation. It's only 10k DP. However, on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can play Ornismon from your trash without paying its memory cost. And let's take a look at Ornismon. Very cool card. It's got security attack +1, and on play, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. So, sometimes, I would even consider hard playing it, like setting my opponent to 10 or whatever, and then removing their only level 5. Because if they're bricked out, they're just gonna hard play things. And if Ornismon's still there, then just go to Millie. Or Sword D, sorry, Sword D. But yeah, Ornismon I generally throw in the trash just because I run more copies of Mermucusmon. But pretty good card overall. 3 copies of Zort D. Now, generally, I don't really want to Digivolve over Mermucusmon, so the target's mainly Dandevi. But, I mean, best case scenario, Omnimon Zort D is coming from my security stack. But if I absolutely have to, at least I have that option to Digivolve over. 2 copies of Glaive Memory Boost, you know, just to return cards and get that play extension with the memory. I might be subbing this out for something else, we'll see. 4 copies of Underworld's Call. This is a really good card because if you're trashing this card, you just gain a memory. You trigger draw 1. And you can actually play a level 4 lower Digimon card and on play effects trigger. So, if you saw here earlier, I was running the Devimon, the promo, with the on play effect to delete level 3. That's the reason why I'm running that card, because of Underworld's Call. And the Devimon name. So it works pretty well. Ogremon, Devimon, give it a shot. Let me know. Next, 2 copies of Deathclaw. So you can trigger the removal, you can force the removal of your own Digimon to bring out Ornismon or Dandevimon, or you can force the removal of Zort D after swinging, obviously, after they've all swung, in order to force the removal of one of your opponent's Digimon. So I do like having this card in my hand or, you know, in security. Mainly in my hand though, I actually don't hate this card in my hand. I think it's very good. 2 copies of Madashida, you know, memory reset, and you can return an option or Digimon card. So sometimes it comes really, really clutch. And the Grave Memory Boost actually helps you with that, especially late game. Because if you have Grave Memory Boost sitting there, and then you trash Underworld's Call or Deathclaw and you really need them, sometimes popping Glaive Memory Boost and, you know, literally like hard playing Mat and still maintaining your turn can mean the difference of, you know, playing Deathclaw to trigger a bunch of random effects in this deck that often lead to a Dandevi, an Ornis, and a removal spell. You know, all these things all play a role in the deck, so yeah. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. This Dandevi looks like a ton of fun. I'm gonna play it, not very competitively, but we'll see what happens. It's gonna evolve. All these decks that I make, guys, they're gonna evolve over time, and they're gonna turn into, you know, more competitive decks as I start to familiarize myself with this set. I've only been playing on tabletop, unfortunately, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'll do this as a series, and I might have my most anticipated red decks and my most anticipated blue and black decks. Actually, black might be first. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and peace. Bye.